Hello YouTube! The final Starward mode, Memory of Chaos, is here. This is probably the hardest one of them so far, and it's a good time to talk about something that I've wondered about in the past. Do Honka's Star Rail accounts, specifically vertical ones, get stronger or weaker as they get older and have to fight against inflation? On the left we have my free-to-play vertical Firefly account that is now 2 years old, that started when Firefly launched. It focuses on Firefly Break, Feixiao Follow-Up, and most recently Dot. On the right, we have my free-to-play Amphorius account that started at the end of 4.0 and is now 1 year old. This account wasn't meant to be vertical, but it ended up focusing on Aglaea, Mydei, and sort of Anaxa. The full builds and investments will be at the end. How do these two accounts compare at clearing this new Starward mode? Let's find out by starting with the younger Amphorius account. So on the first side, we are going to use Seele, using basically Archer's shell of a team. Most people, I think, who started in Amphorius would do this with Archer. And he's perfectly fine for this, especially with a bit of investment. But I do find Seele to be a little bit better at dealing with all the minions. Okay, so I do need to get her buffed, so that this skill kills. Perfect. Gets her Resurgence. And if I skill here, I think we're okay. Get this ult. And then get a Resurgence off of that. If we basic here, we do get to go in front of Sparkle, which is kind of what we want. Maybe we can basic here. Okay, so Ridra gets her ult, but I don't want to waste charges, so let's just skill here. Okay, so now we get skill. And then we're going to get a Ridra skill. Can ult here now. I guess he can just basic. Okay, does she get her ult here? She does. So this is kind of an interesting position. How to proceed from here? Is there any way for me to get a Ridra ult? If I do a skill here, I don't think there is, and that's kind of unfortunate. Unless maybe I do this ult. Okay, this puts 5 out of 6. And now we get 6 out of 6. Now the question is, will all of this be enough to get us this kill in 0 second this wave? I think it is. Perfect. Alright. So on to Flame Reaver. Do want to just pull him up ahead, and just want to basic so we're in front of Sparkle. And then we just want to ult here, but we're gonna keep the Seele ult. So Seele can ult right away onto these enemies. Alright, he's taking chunky damage, but we do want to just kill these as much as possible. Plenty of skill points on this team. One of the nice things of running Sparkle with Seele is the rest of the team can still use their skills. Okay, like that. Okay, so get a Resurgence here. I believe Okay. And I think we're just basic here. She's going to be 62, so when Sparkle ults her, skills her, she's going to go to 31 action value. That's still pretty far. And this skill doesn't really do anything for us, so we can just basic here. Yeah, so she's right behind him, and he's going to spawn more ghosts. So we can just do this now. Okay. And kill more ghosts. Unfortunate, didn't get that in one kill. Very unfortunate. If we skill here, do we get this? Not clear, not clear. But we can try. We did. Alright. Question is, do we just ult him here to try go for the kill? Let's just make sure we have all our buffs up, so we can wait for the Sparkle turn. Oh, I probably should have. Okay. Okay. And I think this should just be enough. Okay. Plenty of skill points. Can we get ahead of him? Not quite. Alright. Okay, got just enough energy to get this behind before he takes his turn. Awesome. If I skill this, this probably doesn't kill. Although we'll get a Saridra skill. This is probably worth it. Okay, spawns more ghosts. And we are in the burn phase, ladies and gentlemen. Or at least close to it. It's always a tricky question of when do you want to start burning him? Four shells or 5? I never know. Okay. But might as well get these resurgences. This is going to pull us ahead of Sparkle if we basic here. So the question is, do we ult him or do we ult the ghosts? I think we just kill another ghost and then maybe... it was a tough question. I guess ult him. He's down to 2 shields. It's gonna be a lot of damage, yeah. Okay. Okay, so now... we're gonna get a lot of extra turns. The question is, are we gonna get an ult? If we do, we're in a pretty good spot to just kill him. And we do! Perfect. That's a kill. Alright, 2 cycles on the first side, not bad. But on this side, Aglaea herself is E1, S1, so she is fairly invested. But the rest of her team is pretty budget at this point. And this matchup is not as great as Zoe's matchup against Flame Reaver. So we do expect her to do a little worse, but let's see what she can do. This gets us our Robin ult. This Robin is E2 from the freebie tokens, which is nice. Here we focus on the left enemy because we're going to kill the right one once it gets debuffed with its mechanic. Yep, that's fine. Okay. I don't want this attack power to go to the allies, so we're just gonna basic here. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. Oh, please just don't kill her. Great. Okay, so I didn't want to use an ult right there because this rotation we're gonna now hit here. Perfect. Attack boost goes on Aglaea. This is exactly what we wanted. Get an extra turn here. Great. And now that's our last attack there. Now the Gundam is debuffed, so we can start focusing on that. Unfortunately, Aglaea is outside the Robin ult because she did get action delayed. Do we wait for her? I do think we wait for her. This is like a question. Do I Huohuo ult here or not? This is going to be 2 attacks. I think Robin will get her ult this way. Yeah, okay. We got it. Great. Alright. And the question is, can we actually conserve this Huohuo ult until the next phase? Let's not get too greedy. We do have to actually finish this cycle. Here we can skill. Just so that we can get this action advance. Okay. Take your turn, sir. That's fine. We do want to get this action attack buff, if possible. Yeah, let's do this. On the garment maker, that's fine. Basic. Okay. At the start of the round, we just start turboing down. And the unfortunate thing is this is a single target boss. And Aglaea cleaves. And so the boss does spawn. Here I think we do want to just skill. Just to be sure that we don't get stunned. Basic this. Aglaea? Okay, that's unfortunate. Let's try to break it. Let's try to break it. Perfect. Okay, we got up. This. Ult. Another turn. So yeah, the boss does spawn ads, but destroying them doesn't really do anything. So what can you do about it? This whole thing is very unfortunate. Yeah, just basic. Let's get our skill points back up. Okay, now we don't have to wait. So see, now that when Aglaea is not getting action delayed, her timing is perfect. She's inside the ult. Okay, ult again. The problem is I don't think this is going to be enough to get Aglaea into her... Yeah, I think it's going to only give 10. And it's going to mess up the speed tuning, so I think it is better just basic here. Yeah. Okay. So she spawns the ads. Okay, and this is going to get us an extra turn now. Much better. Okay. Okay, 41%. Turbulence unfortunately goes on to the side enemies. Basic, we're gonna ult after Aglaea's turn. Here we can skill. Okay, get our ult back. RMC is like pretty far, right? Yeah, just hold on to the RMC ult, I believe. Yeah. I mean, this boss is, like, not that dangerous. Okay, Huohuo got stunned, that's good. As long as Aglaea doesn't get stunned, yeah. Generate skill point, this is fine. I guess basic, because we're gonna ult on Aglaea's turn. Yep. Robin gets her ult back. Okay. Okay, so see, killing the ads just doesn't matter. Would be nice if we can push her into the next phase. Perfect, okay. So she goes into her next phase. Aglaea does not get stunned, that's perfect. The turbulence goes on her, which is good enough. No Aglaea ult, unfortunate. I will try once. Because I do want to get this ult. I just want to skill this, actually. Basic, yep. This is fine. We're gonna get an ult. Okay, unfortunately, we're just going to get this. Okay, I have to use this now. Oh, that's interesting. The RMC ult did not generate energy because I was maxed out with Aglaea. I forgot about that mechanic. Alright, let's see. Okay, basic. Skill here. Skill and ult. Ult. I do want to skill here, I think. We can let men take a turn right after. And then ults. Alright. Aglaea stun, unfortunate. We do have to Gamba now. Okay, she got out. Great. It's fine. Okay. Aglaea takes her turn. I have to be careful here. Don't want to Huohuo ult just yet. It's unfortunate that these guys don't give the attack percent buff mechanic in this phase. They kind of should, no? Yeah, we're just basic here. We have ult coming up. Okay, so we have Robin ult, so hopefully we can kill her. This is gonna be enough. pull her up. Okay. Here we can ult. Actually, I have no idea if RMC can get another ult, but I think it's plausible. Okay. Yeah, we got this. The Robin ult will get us the kill. Okay. Now just ult. Get a full set of extra turns. And I believe it's a 4 cycle. Alright, so finally, this team with Mydei and Cyrene is technically the most invested team on this account. And I think that would be the case for most people with Cyrene and Hyacinth. The Cyrene is E2 at this point, I just picked it up. In addition, the Mydei is E1, the Hyacinth is, I believe she is S1. So, you know, a little bit of investment here and there. Definitely still room for improvement to catch up, you know, get E2s for everybody. But we do expect a decent result. So here, let's just buff Tribby so that she can have a permanent buff for the rest of the game. Let's ult out with Mydei. And now I believe this ult with Hyacinth will get us Mydei transformed. Perfect. We can take his turn, and we can Cyrene ult here. Do a blast. Mydei is a weird character. He ended up being sort of like an erudition character. Like, he just works better as an erudition character because of the 5 target blast. Here we basic. Yeah, we want Mydei to take the damage. Okay, skill here. And here. Okay. Do want to heal up, but we also want the enemies to take their turns. Okay. Yep. Mydei turn. Another Cyrene turn. Can we get this before? Yeah, we can. Okay, perfect. I probably didn't even have to use that ult. Okay, Mydei can go inside the box. And now Tribby starts debuffing and actually advancing everybody. Okay, 1 buff, 2nd buff. Yep, buff this. Same thing. 1 at a time. Okay. Yep, please attack Mydei. He loves it. Tribby does not need a rebuff for a while, so we can skill here. Okay, here we can use 1 Cyrene ult just to push this wave along a little bit. Yep, 1 more. Tribby's gonna need a rebuff. Did we get out? No, not quite. Okay, this is gonna get us out, right? Finally. Full skill points, that's fine. Okay, now we start burning the boss. Finally. Okay, nice big hit. Sure. I mean, there's no real reason to skill there. Okay, action advance. I wonder if this is... I guess if we break her now, then she will just take Mydei and put him inside the box anyway. So I guess we just skill here, let him take his turn, and then after his turn goes off, we use our... Okay. And this should push her. No, not quite. So close. Okay, so the ideal thing did... No, sir. I kind of wish that trigger went out inside the box, but he's back in there. Okay. Start debuffing again. Triggering the windows. We have plenty of skill points. I guess I could have waited for a little bit more damage. By hitting the windows first with all of these ults. Okay. Windows activate. And now Trivia advances. Oh, they're maxed out already. Okay. Sure. Get my boy out. Bring the boys back home. %. Are you kidding me? Okay, at least he gets it. And we're out of the box. Okay, and now we're gonna finish this. Skill points are plentiful now that we're out. Okay. Yeah, we can just keep skilling. This is probably wasteful. I could have waited on her action advance with this trigger. But I think we just need one more and we're done. Yeah, one more enhanced skill and Sparksy's dead. Yeah, you can prepare to go live, but you're not going live. Because Mydei is coming in with the Lariat. Oh, actually, no, Mydei doesn't even get there. 36 cycles total. And now, let's switch over to the 2-year-old Firefly account. Let's get started with the Dot team. This is the least developed team on this account, so it will have the slowest clear time. But let's see how fast we can do it. Here we can basic with Huohuo. Kafka's only 3 AV away. I think I want to maximize action advance on Kafka. So here we're going to skill, ult, and now we Huohuo ult. Okay. Big damage. We heal it up. Now we are going to get our ult here. But we are going to wait for Swan to get her ult as well. And actually I just want these guys to do their damage. Just for the energy. Perfect. Okay, so now we do our Kafka ults. Our Feixiao's ults. And we get a kill. Great. So now Flame Reaver is going to come out. He's going to spawn ghosts. Perfect. And now the ghosts are out. We can detonate them. Okay. Can waste the follow-up there. That's alright. We do want to tag these guys on the right. They will have the hardest time getting hit. Kafka's not going to quite make it back. Now she will. Okay. She gets ahead of Flame Reaver. Here I guess we can just basic. And detonate. He's gonna spawn more ghosts in a second. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Feixiao's ults. Should detonate a couple of these. Okay, and I believe we can just hold on to this ult now. He should go down without having to Kafka ult here. Yeah, just build up some energy. Okay, so now he's gonna take his next turn and spawn ghosts, and now we Kafka ult. Perfect. Who do we want to have skill points for? Swan probably doesn't really need it. I think Feixiao's is the one that we want that skill point for. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that first assessment. Okay. Let's detonate these. Yeah, we can just... He's gonna take an extra turn. And I'm actually gonna wait. Yeah. We're not gonna get much action advance out of this, but... just enough to get her and I think we can start focusing on him here. One last one on the ghosts. Okay. Okay, so Swan and Huo have turns left. So we will basic here to make sure that follow-up goes on the main target. Ult to make sure everything is buffed. Kafka action advance. And we just missed the cycle. Unfortunate. But that's the end. Okay. 3 cycles on the first side, not bad. But this Feixiao follow-up team has had more time. It's been around longer, it's gotten more investment. So let's see how well it can do. This rotation is going to get us a Robin ult. Yep. Okay. So now we want to get our Ashvale ult. Yep. And we want to move it over here to this target. And just ult here before his turn so we don't waste charges. E2 Feixiao gets a lot of follow-ups. Okay. Okay. So now we are waiting for... Feixiao is going to be at 12 and max out in a second. So we do basic here, and then I think we just ult here. She gets ahead, that's fine. Follow-ups here. Give Asheville some energy. Fortunately, didn't quite get his ult. Maybe I just save it for the next stage. I don't think we'll quite need it. Let's see if we can kill right here. Let's see if the dragon gets us. Almost certainly, right? If not that one, then this one. Perfect. Cool. So now the boss. This is a single target boss, which is exactly what we're looking for. On a Feixiao follow-up team. Okay. Action Advancer of Eagle. Big chunky damage. Just going to get ahead of Asheville, that's alright. Is she anywhere near... She's nowhere near a Robin ult, so she's not going to get it back inside. But I don't want to waste charges, so I am going to just ult here. And we should be alright for the rotation. Hey, we can action advance here. Get Asheville his ults. Great. Yeah, with Feixiao you kind of want around 4 to 5 stacks on her when you Robin ult, then this should be fine. Dragon out. And I believe this should push us into the next boss phase. Perfect. Gonna get some energy, I hope. It's just Dragon out. He can skip a turn, actually, it doesn't really matter. It's unfortunate that he doesn't get that energy, but we should be alright. Because of his prey mechanic just going on the boss anyway. Yeah, so Feixiao got stunned as well. That's also unfortunate. We do have a bunch of skill points to waste. Let's try to get her out. Perfect. Okay. Skill. She's gonna go to 10, 11 and a half. Yeah, this is fine. 12 and a half. But she does have to ult here before the dragon. Perfect. Dragon goes out. Ult again. And we are back inside the Robin ult. Great. Do we have enough for another ult? Not quite. In a second though. Okay. And now we do. Perfect. Big chunky damage. Dragon goes out. Second dragon. I wonder if this kills. But we basically have an entire Robin ult to spare for this kill. Great. Alright. Finally, Firefly. This is the oldest team on this account. Is the one with the main investment. Let's see how well this team can do. And here we're actually going to have to be careful to just not kill things too fast. So here we can break this. This is fine. We get our E2 Firefly trigger, and we just want to make sure everybody gets their ults. Yeah, so you can get your ult. You can get closer to your ult, not quite there. Yeah, so we're basically waiting for Feixiao, right? So this is fine. This is fine. Let's farm up some skill points. Okay, she can basic, and now we can kill. Great. Okay. And here we don't actually use the Feixiao ult because it's going to prevent us from being able to bounce off of this. Okay. We get put inside the box. Get basically a free extra turn. Get popped out of the box. Here we don't really care about this damage. We can just farm another ult, try to get one. Sure, we have plenty of skill points. Do want Firefly to get an extra turn here, so actually I will ult here. And this will give us an extra turn. Get started on breaking Sparksy. Yeah, she's gonna put us back inside the box. Free turn, thank you. And we're back out. Perfect. Let's try to get Dahlia close to her ult. I don't know if she's gonna get there. Yeah, get our ult here. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna have to bounce off a target that is not Sparksy. So we get our E2 this way. Great. GG. Let's wrap things up. As you can see, the 2-year-old account did much better. And that's because with more time, you collect more Eidolons. You collect more Litecoins, more freebies that Hoyoverse gives out to players. You fill out all your team deployment slots with premium characters. You have the time to get perfect relics on all of your characters. In general, the rate of investment, especially for vertical accounts, outpaces the inflation that the game has built in. And as your account gets older, things will get easier. The hardest time for your account will be around the 3rd or 4th patch of a new world. That's because the game is no longer showing the archetype that you pulled with stage buffs and is now showing the new archetype of the new world. This year, for example, we have no more remembrance buffs. They have been replaced by elation buffs. But your teams don't have the investment yet to overcome losing those buffs. I know this because this is the 2nd time I've seen this happen, and the exact same thing happened to my Firefly account around 3.2 and 3.3. That account was struggling at that point, but reruns came, we got our key Eidolons, we got new characters buffing my teams, and as I kept investing, things just kept getting easier. So, if you're a Remembrance player and things are looking hard right now, don't give up. Save up for Cyrene, and especially Evernight. Her E1 is very important for that team, and things will get better. Subscribe and like, join the Discord, the link is in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.